Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have a Chelsea news today video, but it's the day after Chelsea 2, Real Madrid 0. We're through to the Champions League final, and I've been talking to a lot of people about it, some fellow Chelsea friends, some neutral fans, and I've noticed that not many people are backing Chelsea in the Champions League final. I think we can beat Man City. I think Chelsea have the advantage due to the system, but I'll speak all about that in a minute. I'm so excited, as well as two transfer stories that we're also going to delve into. So without further ado, let's start off with Sergio Aguero. Now, I've said this for a while, about a month, ever since Sergio Aguero is linked away from Manchester City, and ever since his move away from Man City has been confirmed, he will be leaving Manchester City. That's fully official. He won't be renewing his contract, and he will become a free agent, meaning we don't have to pay a penny towards Manchester City, or no club needs to pay a penny towards Manchester City if they want to get the Argentine striker. However, they do have to pay his wages, which will probably be a little bit higher due to the lack of a transfer fee, but I'd take it for sure. And because Sergio Aguero is such a top tier striker still, at the age of 32, he's definitely not past it by any means. Now, he may be very injury prone. In the last few years, he has really struggled with injuries, but there were some reports maybe talking about the fact that Pep Guardiola may have faked some of these injuries, or I don't know. I saw a few stories talking about Pep Guardiola saying that Aguero was injured when he actually had recovered, just as an excuse, meaning he didn't have to play him in his attack because he's not so keen on playing him. And Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man United, Spurs, Independiente, they're all the clubs linked to signing Sergio Aguero on a free. But the three top ones that I can actually see happening is Barcelona, because his friend Messi, and he'd also probably be guaranteed a starting spot in that attack with Griezmann, not really a full out-and-out striker. Atletico Madrid, he could form a nice partnership between Luis Suarez and himself up front for Diego Simeone's men. And the last one, Chelsea. And I'm still saying this is what I can see happening this summer. I don't see Chelsea splashing over £100 million on one striker. Lukaku, Haaland, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. But Aguero on a free, no risk, high reward hopefully. But if he does get injured, then we paid nothing for him. So it's not the end of the world. And he could even teach some things, like how he could teach the rest of our side, N'Golo Kante, Kai Havertz, Mason, how to finish chances and finish one-on-ones. Maybe even Timo Werner. And today it has been reported that Barcelona, the first team that I was talking about, have actually opened up initial contract negotiations with him and his agent, meaning nothing's been agreed yet, but Barcelona have obviously said that they will be interested, and they, like I said, they've just started the initial negotiations. But I think it will only be a matter of time before Chelsea do that sort of thing. So I don't see us signing Lukaku. I don't see him coming back to Chelsea for £100 million. I see Haaland staying at Borussia Dortmund. I don't see him leaving. So Aguero, for me, would be my choice, especially along with the fact that he maybe want to stay in England to try and get a few more goals, push himself higher up that record book, stay in England for his family. They wouldn't have to move to a whole different country. And also Chelsea, we create so many chances, and if we had a striker like that, I think if Aguero started up front for most games in the season in this Chelsea side, he'd get well over 30 goals in a season, and we could be one of the biggest strike forces, or one of the biggest forces in the world, or England, or the world, or Europe, or the world. Now, the second story today, which one should I choose? Should I be nice to you guys? Should I talk about the semi-final? The second story is another transfer story. I don't know how you say his name. Miralem Pjanic. Now, last season, Miralem Pjanic and Arthur. I always get Arthur and Alan confused because they're two English names. They're both Brazilian midfielders. But Arthur left Barcelona, joined Juventus, and Miralem Pjanic left Juventus and joined Barcelona, which is kind of weird because Pjanic is a lot older, and like they had to it was weird. It wasn't a direct swap deal, but it technically was. But Barcelona technically paid 60 million for Miralem Pjanic, which is kind of mad considering he's not an insane midfielder. He's not bad by any means, but he's not insane, and he has really struggled at Barcelona this season. He has only started 6 games in the league this season, with Ronald Koeman seemingly not a huge fan, and a report claims that Chelsea and Inter Milan have already asked about the midfielder's services ahead of a summer move. Now, last season when I created this channel, I remember making a couple of videos on Miralem Pjanic, maybe linking him to Chelsea because he was Frank Lampard liked the look of him, and he is a very patient midfielder. And if we lost Jorginho, then we're bringing in a pretty much like-for-like midfielder, patient, good at passing, good on the ball, can turn as well, and can shoot as well, I think. But the Bosnian did end up going to Barcelona, and he did catch the eye for Juventus last season. He is a good midfielder, but he just really hasn't lit it up in the La Liga. Now, Chelsea do have N'Golo Kante, who does pretty much count as 2 men in the midfield, but an extra midfielder coming into the frame or the squad would definitely not go amiss, especially if we do lose somebody, which I don't see us losing anyone. But bringing in Pjanic would be very good, considering at the moment our only midfielders are Jorginho and N'Golo Kante, with Kovacic out injured. If one gets injured, then we got another 3. If 2 gets injured, then we still got 2. Because imagine if Kante and Kovacic were both out, then it would be Jorginho and Billy Gilmour every week. It'd just be pass, pass, pass. Now, we also know that Barcelona are in high debt, and if Barcelona are in need of raising funds and the price is right, Pjanic could prove an ideal signing for Chelsea. And like I said, Aguero, Pjanic, they're both low-risk deals. If they do badly, then for Aguero, we didn't pay a penny. For Pjanic, it definitely wouldn't cost much. Maybe, what does this one say? It doesn't say anything, but it definitely wouldn't cost anywhere near 60 million. I'd be guessing maybe 15, 20, 25, 30 at a maximum. But yeah, I don't see us paying 60 million, especially that's what he cost Barcelona last season. And Tuchel may want to stamp his own authority on the squad, and Pjanic could fit very nicely. Like I said, Jorginho is not the most energetic midfielder, but we could bring in Pjanic some days, as they are similar players. They are very good at passing, and I would personally like Pjanic at the club for probably a price of £20 million. Imagine Aguero, Pjanic, and maybe a centre-half, maybe Varane or Sula for 20, 30, and then maybe even a Sancho. That's 120, 130 million pounds maximum for 4 world-class players. Now, the last story, it's not a story, I just wanted to talk about the Champions League semi-final. Chelsea were absolutely wonderful. If you haven't seen already, check out my match review uploaded yesterday. I was getting emotional. A part of the video, I rubbing my eyes, I was emotional. It was, I love this club, I love Chelsea. Chelsea is my everything, football is my everything. And my club going to the Champions League final for the first time since I was a child. And I've got to admit, I probably wasn't very into football. I think I remember Chelsea going to the Champions League final, but I wasn't like particularly like as excited or gassed as I was last night. Or I just can't wait for that day, Manchester City. But I've been thinking about it all day. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been thinking about it all day. How Thomas Tuchel will go out against Manchester City on Saturday. We have them on Saturday. And also in the Champions League final. Now, in the semi-final of the FA Cup, Manchester City changed a system to a 4-2-3-1 with Fernandinho and Rodri playing as 2 number 6s and De Bruyne playing as a number 10, and then Gabriel Jesus playing as a striker. And it didn't really work, and I was wondering, why did they play this system? But I figured out that the 2 fullbacks, João Cancelo and was it Kyle Walker, were man-marking Chelsea's wing-backs, so the game wasn't stretched or just switched every time, and then we'd have an overload on one side. And then the 2 centre-halves, was it John Stones, Ruben Diaz, and then Rodri and Fernandinho, the 2 number 6s, could defend against the Chelsea front 3, so they always had an extra man in defence. But it didn't really work out because we didn't aim to play it around the back and look for the overlaps and look for the gaps or go out wide. We were just getting them on the counter. Timo Werner, I think the goal was obviously a counter attack. We got a goal disallowed, which is a very similar goal. But it didn't really work in Pep's favour. Now, I'm very excited to see how Pep goes out on Saturday against us. Will he go to a 4-2-3-1 again? Even though it didn't work theoretically, it worked, but it didn't really work because Thomas Tuchel used his wits and maybe thought that would happen or pre-decided that they were going to hit him on the counter because they do pass it around. Or is he going to go with his beloved 4-3-3? I'll be interested. The 4-3-3 they're used to, but then Chilwell and Reece James or Chilwell and Azpilicueta, whoever it is on the wing backs, could just bomb forwards. We could just switch the ball every time, and we'll just overload them, especially with the front three against two centre halves, or unless the back four defend against the front three, in which Chilwell and the other wing back would have so much space. Or the last option for Pep Guardiola to go with is mirror Chelsea's formation, which is what Real Madrid tried to do, and go with a back three themselves. But they're not used to this. Fernandinho, John Stones and Diaz will probably be the back three. Now, they have a very, very good squad depth, but I don't see them going out with the back three. They're not used to it. I think it just mess everything up. But I'm excited to see how Pep Guardiola goes out on Saturday, so I can kind of gather a little bit more information. Is he going to go out with a 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3, or the 3 at the back? It's going to be interesting. And then I can deduce how Chelsea can beat Manchester City in the Champions League final. I'll probably upload a video on that because I like going into the analysing the game, the whole in-depth stuff. I love that stuff, all the stats and everything. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not here. Thanks for watching and goodbye.